everyone, and welcome to my What's for Dinner video. My first dinner that I'm going to be making is tostadas. This is one that we make maybe once a month or so, and I like to do my chicken in the Instapot. It's so much easier. I don't have to worry about thawing it. It's just super easy. So I just put my chicken in the Instapot, add a little bit of chicken stock, put the lid on, and set the timer for 40 minutes and walk away and wait for it to be done.
Go away just to figure out who you are, and I'm in this empty house with your pictures on my wall, but I don't have you, I don't have us, at least not anymore. Now I'm just waiting for love, waiting for love. Try to forget about you makes me restless. Waiting for love, waiting.
Once my chicken is done in the Instapot, I'll set the quick release and then I will open it up, take the chicken out, put it in a separate bowl, and just shred it with 2 forks. Once it's all nice and shredded, I will go ahead and I'll add a packet of either taco seasoning or whatever kind of seasoning you want. I just use a packet because that's what I had on hand, but you can feel free to look up a taco seasoning recipe and that will work as well. So off camera, I went ahead and I got all the other toppings together. So to add with the shredded chicken, I have onions, I have shredded cheese, black olives, jalapenos, some guacamole, shredded lettuce, and refried beans.
Waiting for love, waiting for love. Try to forget.
And a lot of our dinners end up having many variations just to fit each kid's needs. So we did have tostadas, and then I also made chicken quesadillas, and then I also made myself a salad. I do have salads quite a bit. I really enjoy them. So a lot of the dinners, if I can make it into a salad, I will. And then a dressing for this, I just do salsa and then a little bit of plain Greek yogurt. Next up, I'll be making pork chops and mashed potatoes. I make my mashed potatoes in the Instapot. I use my Instapot quite a bit. I really like to use it. It just seems to make things a lot easier. And this mashed potato recipe is super easy and super good. So I start off by just peeling all my mashed potatoes, and then I will just cut them into either quarters or maybe 6, depending on how big they are. Once the potatoes are all diced, I will toss them in the Instapot and then put enough water in there just to cover the tops of them and then cook them.
And she would try to act cool, but it was obvious, like, ooh, they would be together, ooh.
While my potatoes are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning my pork chops. I'm using a little bit of avocado oil and then also a smoked paprika and a garlic and herb seasoning. This is kind of a go-to mix that I use for quite a bit of stuff. It's super easy and always really good, and everyone in the family likes it. Tonight I'll be grilling them. You can bake them or cook them on the stovetop. I like to grill whenever I can just because it's less mess. I do the quick release on the Instapot once the potatoes are done. I take them out, put them in a bowl. I'll add the butter, milk, and then I didn't have sour cream, but normally I do put sour cream in them. And then I'll also add garlic and parsley and any seasonings that you normally throw in your mashed potatoes. Just throw it in there and mix it all up, and they are super creamy and super good. I will find the recipe that I kind of go off of down below. It's super good and super easy.
Love song, and I tried to make it beautiful.
Although this isn't a dinner recipe, it is a recipe that I make quite a bit, and it is just banana bread. And I make it in my blender. It makes things so much easier. It's easy to mix up, it's less mess, and it tastes just as good as it does if you make it in a bowl.
As he sang, she started to dance, grabbed his arm and took his hand. He held her close under the moonlight as they kept on dancing. And now they're singing their love song, and they sing it kind of beautiful, calling each other sweetheart. I promise nobody can get in their way or steal the show. They're in love now, and I wanted you to know.
Said you needed a break and left with no heads up.
I just use my regular banana bread recipe that I've been using for years, so I'm sure you could use any banana bread recipe that you have. Next time you make banana bread, try it in your blender and let me know what you think.
Not gonna lie, but I'll give you the space.
Another pretty common dinner for us is hamburgers. In my hamburger mix, I use Montreal steak seasoning, liquid smoke, and barbecue sauce, and just mix that all up and then form it into patties.
Days go by and I can't help but wonder if you think about me too. Don't you just hate it being away from someone you just...
After forming a few patties with that mixture, I'll go ahead and I'll add a little bit of blue cheese crumbles and diced up jalapenos, and then mix that in and make a few patties with that as well. It is so good.
We're like everyone else, we have our ups and downs. It is not just one mistake that made you think about what life can be like without me in it. I still thought it'd be you and I until we die, but I'll give you the space so you...
And as I'm grilling, my daughter's playing outside. She would be outside from sunup to sundown if I let her. And some days she is.
Get better, I can't get my mind off of you. Days go by and I can't help but wonder if you think about me too. Don't you just hate it being away from someone you just wanna hold on to? It's driving me crazy, tired of waiting. I really hate being away from you. Don't you just hate it being away from someone you just wanna hold on to? It's driving me crazy, tired of waiting. I really hate being away from you.
This is a honey mustard dressing that I make. It lasts for about a week in the fridge, and it's super easy to make. Tonight I'm just putting it over my salad because I'm chopping up the burger and putting it in a salad and eating it that way. But it's good for salads. I dip my veggies in it. You could dip like a little bit of like rolled up sandwich meat in it. Like there's so many things that you could do with it, and it's super good and super easy to make. It's just Greek yogurt, olive oil. I use avocado oil, Dijon mustard, honey, lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, minced garlic, sea salt, and ground pepper, and I just shake it all up in a mason jar. You could just stir it together as well, but it is super easy and so good, and it's pretty healthy.
Birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper.
This is a pizza dough recipe that I've really fallen in love with. It's one that I have to make the dough at least a day or two ahead of time because it needs to sit in the fridge in a bag for at least 24 hours, but it is so good. And it actually makes it easier when I go to make the pizza because the dough is already made, so it's actually pretty quick once it comes time to make the pizza.
You fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. with you and flowers everywhere.
I ended up making a triple batch of the pizza, so I just kind of rolled the dough into a log and then cut it into 3 separate pieces. And then I cover them in a little bit of avocado oil and just put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in a fridge, and then they're ready for the next day.
Someone who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours.
About an hour before I'm ready to make the pizza, I'll take the dough out and let it set to room temperature. And as I'm waiting for that, I will get any toppings ready. So I'm cooking sausage, I'm chopping up all the little veggies and toppings that I want and setting them out. So when the dough is ready, it's easy just to throw the toppings on and put them in the oven.
Dreaming of you, dreaming of you.
This is a cast iron pizza pan. I'll have it linked below. I just got it off Amazon and we have really liked it. It honestly makes such a difference to use the cast iron and the homemade dough when making pizza. It is a night and day difference. And then for the pizza that I am making for myself, I went ahead and I mixed a little bit of pesto and avocado oil together, and that is the sauce that I'm using instead of a red sauce. And I am putting artichoke hearts on it, Kalamata olives, a little bit of red onion, some pepperoncinis. I also am putting some spicy sausage on there, some feta cheese, and then a little bit of like cut up mozzarella balls and a little bit of shredded mozzarella, and then I'm sticking it in the oven.
Dreaming of you.
Making the pizza this way has actually been really cost effective as well. It might take a little bit more time, but it's fun to make it at home, and it also saves so much money, because I don't know about where you live, but getting pizza for my family ends up costing an arm and a leg. So it's nice just to make it at home. You get whatever you want on it, and it's a fun experience as well. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along and cooking with me. I will have a lot of the recipes that I made just in the description box down below. If you're interested in any of them, you can just go ahead and copy and paste them and print them out and then use them for your family.